She's lying. She's a compulsive liar, I yelled, my voice shaking as I held out the printed bank statements. She's been stealing your money for months, and I can prove it. But my mother didn't even look at the papers in my hands. Her face turned red with fury as she pointed a trembling finger toward the front door. Shut up, Rebecca, just shut it, she screamed. You've always hated her, always been jealous of Olivia, and now you're trying to ruin her name because of it. Get out of this house, right now. I looked at my father, hoping for something, anything, from him, but he just stood beside her with his arms tightly crossed over his chest. He didn't say a word. He wouldn't even meet my eyes. His silence hurt worse than my mother's shouting. But if you just look at these, I said, my voice cracking, you'll see she's the one who's been taking money, not me. Out, Mom shrieked. Her voice was raw and loud and final. We don't want to hear any more of your lies. I stood there for a moment, frozen in the middle of the living room. Around me were the familiar sights of my childhood, framed family pictures on the walls, the couch we used to cuddle on during movie nights, the scent of cinnamon from a candle burning on the coffee table. But I no longer belonged here. My eyes wandered to the photos on the wall. Olivia was in every single one, always right in the middle, smiling like she was the sun holding our family together. Me? I was either off to the side, half hidden behind someone else, or caught blinking at the worst possible moment. Those photos told the whole story. Olivia was the favorite, always had been. My name is Rebecca Jensen. I'm 22 years old, a senior studying finance at Denver University. I work 2 part-time jobs just to stay afloat, one at the campus library, the other cleaning office buildings at night. I've been sending my parents $400 a month for over a year now to help them with bills. They never asked for it, I just wanted to help. I thought they'd be proud of me, I thought they'd see me. But instead, Olivia claimed the money as if it came from her. And worse, she stole even more, hundreds, maybe thousands, and somehow twisted everything to make it look like I was the one stealing from them. All I ever wanted was a little appreciation, a thank you, some kind of acknowledgement that I was the responsible daughter, the one they could count on. Instead, I got kicked out of my own home 3 days before Christmas. I left with nothing but the bank statements in my backpack and a heart full of disbelief. I trudged through the snow to my old Honda Civic, the wind biting my skin and tears freezing on my cheeks. I looked back one last time before opening my car door. Through the living room window, I saw Olivia with her arms around our mother, gently patting her back like she was the victim here, like she was comforting our parents from the awful betrayal I had supposedly brought upon them. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out with trembling hands. It was a message from Dad. We're done helping you with tuition. If you want to fix this, return what you took and apologize to your sister. My jaw dropped. I stared at the screen, rereading the message as anger bubbled up in my chest. I slammed my hand against the steering wheel. Return what I took, I whispered through gritted teeth. I hadn't taken anything, I had given everything. They had helped Olivia with everything, her college, her fancy apartment in Boulder, her shiny new car. Me? I got leftovers, whatever little they could spare, and now, even that was gone. But just as I was about to start the car, something made me pause. I looked back at the window. Olivia had stepped away from our parents. She stood alone in the hallway, staring down at her phone. Her expression had changed, no longer smug or sweet. She looked pale, nervous. Her fingers flew across the screen as she typed out a text. Her lips moved slightly, as if she were whispering to herself. Then Dad walked up behind her. Olivia jumped, quickly shoved her phone into her pocket, and turned around with a forced smile, the kind of smile you wear when you're hiding something. My heart thudded in my chest. Something wasn't right. This wasn't just about her taking credit for my help anymore. That look on her face, it wasn't pride or victory. It was fear. What was Olivia hiding? And why did it scare her so much? My phone rang. It was my dad's number. My stomach turned as I stared at the screen, then slowly picked up. Rebecca, his voice sounded tired and stiff. We need to talk about these accusations you've made. I gripped the phone tighter. They're not accusations, Dad, they're facts. I've been sending you money, not stealing it. He sighed. We went over the documents with Olivia. She explained everything. I felt my chest tighten. What do you mean? She told us you're trying to frame her because you're jealous of how close we are to her. She said she was at the casino on those days, but only for dinner with friends. She said she saw someone at the ATM who looked like you. My heart dropped. That's impossible, I said quickly. I was at work. I can get a statement from my manager, or even class attendance records. Enough, he said firmly, cutting me off. Olivia has been nothing but supportive through all this. She even offered to cover the missing money, despite your efforts to pin the blame on her. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My sister was still lying, still twisting the truth, and they were still falling for it. Dad, please. We're blocking your number after this call, he said coldly. Don't come to the house again. If you want to fix this, return the money and apologize to your sister. Then the line went dead. I sat in stunned silence, the phone slipping from my hand. My world spun around me. They're blocking my number, I whispered to Jessica, my roommate and best friend. Olivia told them I'm making all this up out of jealousy. Jessica looked at me, shocked. She's good, she muttered, really good. What do I even do now? I said helplessly. They won't listen, they won't even talk to me. Jessica stayed quiet for a second, thinking hard. You need something they can't deny, she finally said. Would the bank give you security footage from the ATMs? I shook my head. Probably not without a police report, but wait, the casino might have something. If she goes there often, they might have records or footage, maybe even a loyalty program. Jessica's eyes lit up. Exactly, if she's been gambling a lot, she's definitely in their system. My pulse quickened, a small spark of hope lit inside me. Maybe I still had a chance to prove the truth. Later that day, I drove to the Golden Peak Casino. The building was massive and flashy, lights blinking everywhere, music blaring from inside. It was the kind of place I had never been to before. I didn't gamble. I could barely afford groceries, let alone slot machines. But I walked through those glass doors anyway, determined. At the front desk, I asked to speak with the security manager. I'm worried about a family member, I told the receptionist. I think they have a gambling problem. Soon, a serious-looking woman named Diane came out to meet me. I believe they've been using stolen credit cards, I added quietly, showing her printed statements from my dad's bank account. She looked at the papers, then back at me. Without a police report or your father present, there's not much I can do, she said calmly. My shoulders slumped. I was about to turn and leave when a man walked up. He wore a suit and had a name tag that read Thomas, assistant manager. Excuse me, he said. I overheard. Is this about Olivia Jensen? I froze. Yes, I said slowly. She's my sister. He looked at Diane, and something passed between them. This might be connected to an open investigation, he said. Diane's expression changed. Come with us. In a quiet office behind the casino floor, they sat me down. Thomas pulled up a file on the computer. Olivia triggered our fraud alert system. She maxed out several credit cards recently, including one not in her name. We've been watching closely before notifying authorities. My mouth went dry. How much money? Thomas clicked through a few pages. She's lost over $335,000 in the last 6 months. I felt like the air had been punched out of me. That can't be right. She's a college student. She works part-time. Addiction makes people desperate, Diane said quietly, and unfortunately, it happens more often than you'd think. Thomas kept going. She signed up for a casino credit line, so we had to run a credit check. That's when we noticed something strange. He turned the screen toward me. My name was listed, 3 credit cards, all opened in the last year, all maxed out, all used at this casino. That's not me, I said in a hoarse whisper. I never opened those accounts. Diane nodded slowly. It looks like identity theft. Family members are the easiest targets. I left the casino with a folder full of documents, printed records of Olivia's gambling activity, security camera photos of her at the ATMs using our father's card, and copies of the credit cards opened in my name. It should have been enough, but I knew my parents still might not believe it unless they saw her doing it. When I got home that night, another bomb dropped. An eviction notice was taped to our apartment door. That doesn't make sense, I told Jessica. I've been paying rent. We called the property office. They checked their system and told us that rent had been scheduled for automatic withdrawal each month, but the last 3 payments had bounced. I pulled up my banking app. The balance said, $46.74. No, 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 I whispered, scrolling through my transactions. There were payments I didn't recognize, transfers to strange accounts. Jessica leaned over my shoulder. Oh my God, Olivia has access to your account. I remembered her using my laptop during a visit months ago, checking her email. I had saved my login info in the browser. She's been stealing from me too, I said numbly. My money, my identity, everything. Jessica placed a hand on my arm. You need to go to the police, like now. I nodded slowly. I had nothing left to lose. This wasn't just about proving I didn't steal from our parents anymore. Olivia had taken my name, my credit, and my future, and left me drowning in the mess she made. But she didn't realize one thing. I wasn't going to stay silent. Not anymore. This ends now, I said softly. I'm not just going to clear my name, I'm going to make sure she never does this to anyone else again.